Hi everyone, in today's training I want to show you how to draw this image that is displayed at this moment. So this is a mechanical drawing. It's intended for training purposes. When you're learning AutoCAD, you can use quite a few of these drawings to get your skills up to scratch. So let's start with, the easiest way to do this is to start with a 2D drawing. So I'm going to draw this view in 2D. So to start with, I'm going to start with this bottom corner, and it's going to be, let's say, 30 millimeters, and it's going to be up 5 millimeters, over 60 millimeters, down 5, and then 30 again. And lastly, it's up 15 millimeters. So all of these dimensions I got from this drawing. So it made it quite easy to draw the side view of the bottom foot piece. So I think to start the 3D process, I'm going to draw the foot on its own and then everything on top of the foot from there. So to go into my 3D rotation view, I hold down the Shift key and the mouse wheel button, and I drag to the side. So to get from this 2D drawing to a 3D view, I'm going to use the press pull function. I prefer this over the extrude function, as you can just select an island. Where extrude, you have to select each object you want to extrude, and if they're not joined together on a block form, it's going to give you individual surfaces or faces instead of a solid object. So the width of this is going to be 80 as stated. So the next step I want to do is I want to get these holes that are shown. I want to get these holes inside of the foot piece. So I'm going to take this foot piece, I'm going to rotate it with the 3D rotate. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. I'm going to move it over to the side. So as you can see, the holes has a diameter of 10. So I'm going to start with a circle. I'm going to draw or type in D, enter, and enter the diameter of 10. And I know the spaces in between the holes are going to be 50, so I'm going to copy this over for 50 millimeters. Then I'm going to use the press pull function again. And I'm going to make it a height of 20, so I know that it is higher than the foot piece that I've just drawn. And 20 again. So to get this in the center, as you can see, it's 50 apart. So from the center, it's 25 to each side. So I'm just going to draw a center line. I'm going to move this down just 2 millimeters, so I know that it cuts through the whole foot piece. I'm going to move it up from this line center point to the center point of the foot piece, and I'm going to move it in. As you can see, the difference between the 120 and the 90 is going to be 30 millimeters, so it's 15 from this side. So I'm going to move it in 15 millimeters, 1.5. So before I use the extract or the solid subtract function, I'm going to mirror this to the other side, so I know they have the same dimensions as the ones here in the front. I'm going to mirror this, use this face and that center point. So I'm going to use the solid subtract, so I select the object I want to stay behind, and then I select whatever I want to remove from this object. And then you're left with the holes of 10 millimeters diameter. So for the next step, I'm going to go back to top view to draw whatever is on top of the foot. So I can see that the height of 60 millimeters is to the center of that circle. So I'm going to start with drawing a line of 60. Then I'm going to draw the circle with the diameter. So D enter 70 as stated. And the inner circle has a diameter of 50, so I can draw that circle as well. You can either keep it on radius and just type 25, or to make sure you have the right dimension, you go into D for diameter of the circle, type in 50. So for the next step, I want to offset this line, because I know the thickness of the support of the circles are 10 millimeters, so I'm going to use an offset of 5 millimeters. Offset that to the side and to that side. I'm just going to close where it's going to be connected to the foot piece, and then I'm going to trim off the extra lines. So trim is TR enter, and just trim off the excess lines. So what you're left with is this from the side. So this foot piece is going to be it's going to be difficult to place on a 3D drawing. So the easiest way to do this is to get the length of the bottom. So as you can see, 30 from that corner, plus 5 of that 10 millimeters, plus the 35, so you have 65 minus the 120, so you're left with 55 millimeters for this line. So to start with, I'm going to draw a line of 55 millimeters, 55, and just go up to the circle. So there's no gradient or angle at which this sits, so you should get it as close as possible to the edge of the circle. So I'm going to draw a few construction lines just to see if I can get the best possible fit. I'm going to change my polar tracking to 30 degrees, and you can see it's already above that, so I'm going to change it to, you know what, for this example I'm just going to leave it at 30 degrees and just move up the line as close as possible to where it cuts the circle. Just move it back so I can get a new cut line, and that's close enough to get an accurate drawing. I'm going to delete those, trim off the excess lines. So the next step, what is left, is to create a 3D object from this, and you can see the depth of this object is 60 millimeters. I'm going to use a press pull function again to get 60, enter, and the thickness of the support plate here is 10. I'm going to use 10. Then I'm going to move it over to the middle. I'm going to select both of these and rotate an upright position, so it's the same as the foot piece. Now to get this to where it belongs on the foot plate, I'm going to select these two objects. I'm going to select the center of the bottom line, or let me just rotate so you can see what I select at the back, and I'm going to move it to the center of the foot piece at the back. So it shows on the drawing to the center of the support piece here. It's going to be 30 millimeters. I'm going to select everything and I'm going to move it up 25 millimeters because you deduct half of whatever that support size is. So that is basically done. So what you can do still is you can join everything together so you have one working piece. I'm going to select, or you should first select the command, which is solid union. Select all the pieces of your drawing, right click to enter, also accept the command, and there you have one working piece. So I hope this helped you. I hope you can have some practice with this drawing, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.